The women's division finally got their long-awaited mid-card title, so we'll see how that'll work. We'll also check out what's new with the Bloodline and more. Starting things off with the brand new United States women's title. Rumors and buzz for a mid-card women's title have always been around for several years now, but the buzz really picked up in 2024, with the rumor being that WWE had something on the way. And the November 8th edition of SmackDown gave us that long-awaited reveal. Nick Aldis had the honor of revealing the Women's United States title himself. It featured identical plate designs as the Men's United States title, but with a white strap instead of an all-black one. Lots of fans had questions about how this title will work, and if it'll be similar to the men's mid-card titles, where Raw will get a Women's Intercontinental title as well. Well, as it stands right now, it does not look like a Women's Intercontinental title is coming to WWE. Judging by what Nick Aldis said during the reveal of the Women's United States title, this championship will work similar to the women's tag team titles. The women's rosters from both Raw and SmackDown, and who knows, maybe even NXT, will all have the right to fight and compete for this title. It's open and eligible for all rosters to compete for it and win it. Just like how the women's tag team titles work, the reigning Women's United States champion will have the right to appear on both Raw and SmackDown to fight challengers from both brands. So the entire women's division is not getting two mid-card titles after all. It's only one United States title that's being given to the entire division, which is understandable and does balance things out. Instead of needing to work on two mid-card title programs for the women's division, they could put all the time and attention into one mid-card title scene for the women, so it should up the quality of feuds for that title, especially given the fact that any women from all three rosters can compete for the title. That'll certainly keep matchups fresh all the way through someone's title reign. Something else that Nick Aldis confirmed was that this title will not be awarded and handed to anyone. It will be fought and properly earned by someone in the very near future. So nothing's confirmed quite yet, but it appears safe to assume that this will work similar to the other tournaments we've seen in the past. Raw and SmackDown will most likely have several tournament-styled matchups, and then the two finalists, one from Raw and one from SmackDown, will go one-on-one for the honor of being the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion. The title's entire purpose will of course to be opening up more opportunities for the women's division and give the roster a title to go after besides just the world titles. And this was something we were talking about last time the mid-card titles were in the news. But if used correctly, this title could really help elevate members of the women's roster. With the introduction of the mid-card title, now we'll be able to see the women that build up an entire journey to the world title picture. Now they can win the United States title, build up the fan interest, pick up some heavy momentum, and then once they drop the United States title, they'll be ready to contend for the world title. And fans will be strongly behind them since they saw that journey. So using the mid-card titles as a stepping stone to get superstars to the next level is always a great tactic. And now that ability will open up the women's division with the introduction of their United States title. And now the other fun part of this conversation about who will be the first ever Women's United States Champion. Well, the perfect description of the first Women's United States Champion is simple. It needs to be someone who's right there on the hump of breaking into the world title scene. Someone who has a decent enough following from fans. Someone who really needs this title to take them fully over that hump that they've been stuck at. One name that pops up in mind that perfectly fits this description is no doubt Zelina Vega. Zelina has the perfect underdog narrative strongly going for her. She's been robbed of her last few world title opportunities. She has a strong following, she checks off all the boxes, and being the first United States champion will really elevate her to that world title scene. Other superstars that are already campaigning for the title include Chelsea Green. Natalya has also shown a lot of interest in the title, and she's another great pick to be champion, an absolutely iconic and legendary superstar. Cannot go wrong with her as United States champion. Someone that's also showing interest in the title, funny enough, is Liv Morgan. Liv is the world champion. She just won the Crown Jewel title. She's contending for the women's tag team titles, and now she's got her eyes on the United States title as well. Liv even joked about it by posting an edit of herself holding every single title in WWE history. So that's where her mind's at right now. She's trying to conquer and win every title. So it looks like Liv cannot be ruled out of anything from trying to make a run at the title as well. Speaking about gold rushes and holding on to all the gold, maybe putting the United States title on Raquel Rodriguez would be an insane but pretty interesting route as well. Talk about dominating the men's and women's division. The Judgment Day have the men's tag team titles and both women's titles in their possession. Liv and Raquel would be running around together as a duo, but both would have singles titles. So it would be chaos, but would be bringing the Judgment Day to a whole other level. But no matter what route they decide to go in, the women's United States title is about to have a real shot of improving the women's division on Raw and SmackDown. Let's get into the latest updates for the Bloodline because things got pretty intense there once again. Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso came out first together, and before Roman can say a single word, Jey Uso interrupted him with his entrance. So even though they're technically united, Jey Uso still comes out on his own and will take all these small jabs at Roman, such as interrupting him speaking. Jey brings out Sami Zayn and begs Roman to just hear him out. Sami recalls all the good times and how he can see that there's a part of Roman Reigns that would love to have it all back again as well. Sami's only condition was that Roman has to apologize to Jey Uso. But instead of apologizing to Jey, Roman snaps back into his old self and says that they're wasting his time with Sami and how he's not family at all. Roman and the Usos were then seen backstage, and once again, Roman momentarily snaps into his old ways and starts barking orders at Jey and Jimmy. Jey warns Roman about that being his one pass to disrespect him and how he'll leave if it happens again, while Jimmy quietly went on his mission to go find Solo Sikoa. Roman was then seen all by himself for the rest of the night until the main event segment. Roman interrupted Solo's Undisputed Tribal Chief ceremony and challenged Solo to a one-on-one match with the Tribal Chief position being on the line. Winner becomes the only Tribal Chief of the family. Solo Sikoa denied that request and instead challenged Roman Reigns to War Games. Solo Sikoa even made the reveal there that Sami Zayn would be joining the new Bloodline's team at War Games, and how Sami's kick to Roman at Crown Jewel was on purpose. As Solo's about to put Roman away, he asks Sami Zayn to come to the ring and give Roman another kick, but Sami aims for Solo Sikoa instead. Roman, Sami, and the rest of the OG Bloodline eventually clear the ring out and do their pose together to signify their full reunion. So the War Game match is officially set and complete. It'll be a 4-on-4 War Games match at Survivor Series. The only member that's still missing is Paul Heyman. We've seen the OG Bloodline reunion happen in this order so far. It was Jimmy, then Jey, then Sami, and now everyone is patiently waiting for Paul Heyman, who should absolutely get a monstrous reception when he eventually returns. Paul Heyman has been backstage at nearly every SmackDown event over the last few weeks, but he's been mostly doing backstage work and is yet to appear on camera. But considering Heyman is already there backstage every week, that really means that he can make his big return whenever the creative team wants to insert him back in there. There's no word or a report for a time frame for Paul Heyman's return at all, but fans are starting to wonder if an actual return at Survivor Series itself could be in play. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.